Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Pound, and I am here with the last video for Chapter 1.1, Introduction to Life Science from Purposeful Design Life Science. Our topic for today is going to be Section 114, the chemistry of living things. So our objectives today are going to be to express that organisms are made of molecules and compounds, and list and describe the four main organic compounds found in living things. Now, the first thing we need to know is that organisms are made of molecules and compounds. And remember, molecules and compounds are made of elements. And I like to say basically, we are walking test tubes. Organisms are test tubes. There are all kinds of chemical reactions happening in them. And for the most part, we are made of organic compounds. This is a compound that contains carbon. And I should also add that it contains hydrogen as well. And so we see here in the background a molecular model. And in this molecular model, the black atoms are carbon and the white atoms are hydrogen. And so this is an organic compound because it has a carbon backbone with hydrogens attached to it. There are some compounds that are not organic that contain carbon, but they don't contain hydrogen as well. The first type of organic compound I want to talk about are carbohydrates. These are made of sugars. Okay, so a lot of times these are made by plants, first of all, although we also have carbohydrates in us. But that's why we see potatoes here, which have carbohydrates in them. Starch is a carbohydrate. Pasta is made from wheat and is carbohydrates. And then rice is carbohydrates. And we need these for energy. Okay, carbohydrates primarily for us are for energy because they are made of sugar. And remember, we said in a previous video that all living things require energy. The next class of organic compounds that I want to talk about are lipids. And this is an organic compound that is a fat or an oil. And here in the background, we see an oil. Oils are fats at room temperature, okay, or lipids at room temperature. Fats are lipids that are solids at room temperature. So oil, liquid, fat, solid at room temperature. And fats contain a lot of energy. This is really concentrated energy here. That is why we do need fat in our diet because our skin is made up of a lot of fat, and we do need fat in our diet. But we need to be really careful with fat because it is so high energy that it's a lot of calories. And we don't want to consume too many calories because that's just not good for our health. So it is essential, though, for us to have fat in our diet. Also, proteins. These are made of what we call amino acids. Amino acids contain nitrogen. They carry materials throughout the blood. They regulate the functions of tissues and organs, and they repair cells and tissues. Our muscles are made up of protein. Our hair is protein. They cause the structure of a lot of our body. So, proteins are really essential. We do get some energy from proteins too, but more that they're the building blocks, and they also really regulate the chemical reactions in our bodies that are going on. They're very crucial in that. So, protein in our diet is very important to get the correct amino acids. We have to be provided with the amino acids in our diet to build the proteins that our body needs. And then we also have nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are an organic compound that contains genetic information. And nucleic acids come in two forms, DNA and RNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA is ribonucleic acid. And we're going to talk about the crucial functioning in these things in our body. But these nucleic acids are what determine really what we look like. They determine who we are uh, in our, our DNA. So, and we get our DNA from our parents. Half of our DNA comes from one parent, and half comes from our other parent. So our objectives for this video were to express the organisms are made of molecules and compounds, and list and describe the four main organic compounds found in living things. Now, this is the last video for this chapter. So don't forget to, again, continue watching until the end to answer your questions. Don't forget your 5 questions in the margin of your notes. And also, you can start studying. You can get on Quizlet, and there is a study set for this. So you can be practicing for the test. And at the end of your note packet, there is also a review section with the short answer and essay questions for you to work on.